So we are live. I think we are. I will first need some kind of a confirmation from the public, from somebody, just to see if we have the audio and video. I think we do, but in these things it's better to verify. Running banks, watcha. So that's it. That's perfect. And we are live again. So cut, second take. Okay, so all fine. Tim, Richard, I can see and hear you. Chris, Thomas, audio and video are both fine. So one question before we continue is, do you hear a fan? I hope not, but it's very loud. Thank God for a dynamic microphone, because otherwise the fan would be very prominent. And if you see that I'm like sweating like a pig, that's because I literally am. It's so hot here in Europe. It's very hot. I think that in France it was like 40 degrees today. Here in Croatia it was like 36, 35. It's very hot, very humid, but very little, but it's very low and not distracting. Let's kill the fan regardless. Give me a second. Okay, this should be much better. So take 3. Welcome to everybody who joined us now live, and welcome to everybody who is gonna see us in a year, 2 year, 10 years, or tomorrow, whatever comes first. This is gonna be a very casual stream, nothing very revolutionary, or maybe it will be. Who knows? We'll see. I'm just gonna go through some of the stuff that you have. If you watched closely the comment section, you have seen some of the stuff that I'm gonna discuss in here, but also I will give you some news and updates that might be very beneficial to all of us. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. And yeah, I just want to start with something. It's gonna be a little bit strange, but I want to have a moment of humble acceptance and of gratitude. First of all, to all of you, because it's like 8 days that have passed, and we're good to go. We're in green. So a very, very big thanks to all of you guys, boys and girls, and thank you. I also want to thank all the other people from the team, and this is what I just want to touch briefly, and that's a thank you to Alexandra. What I mean by that is that I'm a game designer, and after we published and delivered the previous campaign to Eternity, I worked tirelessly on a new game, on a Signal game. But then also a year before, I switched from Signal to Machina Arcana to work on the Vivarium and to bring you all the good revolutionary stuff that you see. And in all of these years, I was without a job. I was privileged to be working on Vivarium and Machina Arcana thanks to Alexandra, because she was the breadwinner of our family, and I really wanted to just give a point on that, because she also had her own work, her own job, and she decided like 2 years ago that she wanted to create a design studio for interior design, and she on herself created the whole studio, brought a very good 3D guy. Then later a good friend, another Alexandra also joined. So she was able to not just procure some kind of a bread for our family, but she made a very, very epic design studio. So I'm thankful for being obsessed in order to just work on the project without any distractions, and to be privileged because I couldn't do that if you had a normal 9-to-5 job. So a big gratitude for the whole universe also, because everything just was synced, placed into a very, very peculiar way so that I can really focus totally on the project. So I'm really, really thankful for all of that. So with that having said, let's go to the next point. And Triskelion Games. Oh, Paul. Oh, which Paul? She's such a clever, supremely talented woman. Yeah, Paul, whoever Paul is behind Triskelion Games, she is really, really fond of working with you. And yeah, she always has something very funny and very cool to say about your work together. And I will now switch from my ugly face to a browser so that I can share some of the more important stuff for you. Main plus browser. So that's it. And we are both here. Ah, so that's it. So you are now missing the third Paul, I would assume. Okay. I will go through some of the stuff that's related to the project, but by showing you a very cool slideshow. And let's start with the factory. We did talk about the colors, and the previous editions were all made with the same factory. It was okay. It was good, but it was not perfect. It was not impressively, uniquely, premiumly made product. And we did had some problems in the past because there were some color inconsistencies between boxes, and there was also some problems with the components. And I will not talk about that because I would love to talk, like, not live, but to talk with the factory, with Jeff and Gilliam, really cool guys. And I would like to ask them like questions, to have some kind of an interview with them. So let me know if this is something that you would like to see, some kind of interview with different peoples. And just to give you a more context of what's going on, and not just with the project, but what's like usually going on with these projects, not just with the factory, maybe even with the fulfillment companies. I would also like to talk and to present the artists, because they are also the soul, the dress that goes on the body of the project. So they bring to life those ideas, and you can put those ideas on paper, on a storyboard, but it is them who are placing their magic into the table so that you as players can really immerse themselves. I would like that. I would like to talk with them, to present their work, because I really like working with them. We have 3 artists that I'm communicating with, Vladimir, Stefan, and Igor. And I hope that you have some kind of a small segment where I present them, because they're really cool guys. Yes, it's always interesting to see behind the scenes. Dave Thomas. Dave, yo, what's up with you, Dave? Long time no see. If it doesn't take too much of your time away from the project insights into the process, it's always excellent. Yes, it is. So, sorry for the delay. I am digressing a bunch, but it's fine. It's a casual talk. So, and also just ask away. That's why the idea behind this stream is not just that you listen to me, but I listen to you, and you might have seen before. I really like to listen and hear your thoughts, because in those ideas and feedback there might be something very, very, very interesting, very, very revolutionary at times. Most of the times it's not, but sometimes it is. And because of that, I'm always here to listen to you. Good to chat with you again. Yes, Dave, especially with you. I remember some really, really fun times with the manual. Okay. So the factory. Yes, where are we? Colors. So I don't know what they mean by GMI and G7, but it sounds professional. So I've decided, let's put GMI G17. People will see that, oh, it's a professional term, so let's use that. But what they were saying is that we can use their machines to print the samples, and then we can compare those printed samples with the already published things that I'm going to send to them, and then they're going to compare the quality and to see if the blacks are, I don't know what was the correct term, how good are the blacks, and how good are the depth of colors and saturations and all of that stuff. Because some boxes have received some kind of a washed colors, and it's not that's an issue that's across the board, but it was before with some of them. But again, I repeat, it was the previous factory, and they had a very lousy quality control. And I talked with Boda Games, the new factory, and how they explain how they do the quality control. It was like a science fiction to me. So that's going to be much more consistent colors, much better colors. But the big problem that could arise is that now we have a much better quality of colors than the previous versions of the game. And then when you mix those components, is there going to be some discrepancy? There could be, not in terms of card format. That's going to be across the board the same, exactly the same as the third edition. But there could be some color discrepancy. Could this be a problem? To me, no, not really. Especially if you sleeve the cards, the sleeves are gonna have, especially the items. They have some kind of a dull matte coating on the other side, on the back side. So this will make the color differences even less pronounced. Even if this is not a problem, there is always a choice if you're very delicate about not seeing if the card that you're going to draw is from Vivarium, is that you can draw from the bottom of the deck. I mean, there are ways to mitigate the problem, but let's first see if it's going to be a problem. And it's interesting because, in a way, I would like to be a problem, because that would mean that the printing quality was way improved. I know that a lot of people are not going to like if it's going to be much better color, but we'll see, one step at a time. First, let's let them print the samples, let them make some quality pictures, then let's see what they've got. Black should be depthless, as if to draw you into your doom, exactly, from the abyss. The next one, how do I go to the next? Oh, is this. Yeah, I talked to them about the miniatures, having the number on the base, on the bottom of the base, and they said that it shouldn't be a problem, but they will check and how to easily do that without having to create new molds for them. And they're confident that they will find a way to mark them accordingly. So that's really great. Another thing regarding the insert, yes. So the thing is, with the inserts, there are two things that I'm going to improve with this edition. First one, I think that the insert walls was a little bit too brittle. And I would like to have a much sturdier insert, because there were a lot of people who received their insert broken, and this happened maybe even in the factory, but that shouldn't be the case. As I said, quality control is going to be off the charts with this edition, but even before the quality control, we are going to make sure that the products that we're going to produce is perfect, like premium quality, even before we go and print the samples. And one way to ensure that in terms of plastic inserts, it's to make them just a little bit thicker. So yeah, that's it. They'll check and present some options. Oh yeah, so that's for the second part. You know, the insert was designed by one and only Matt Healy, and he greatly designed all of the walls, insert walls to store all the expansions for the core and 2 previous expansions, and to have all the cards in your core game, sleeved or unsleeved. But as the walls have to be specific dimensions, sometimes when you have unsleeved cards, you might see that some cards might go to another well. So this is something that we'll also address. We will offer alternatives. What I do with my core box is to place a sleeved card on the beginning of each well, so that it serves as some kind of a container. So you need sleeves to have unsleeved cards in your box. But don't worry. So there are many options, but what I want to show you that you are going to get a premium product that's going to be like, can I say perfect? No, I can't say perfect, but very close to it, hopefully. So yeah, so that's for the factory. So the numbered miniatures, the tray insert. Sundrop. And Sundrop. Sundrop, isn't that like Awakened Realms term? Maybe there's another term that we can use. But maybe it's gonna be not so enticing, not so cool sounding as a sun drop. So like a sun dropped on the miniature and burned it a little bit. Factory showed us a couple of photos of smaller miniatures that they have, and I'm just gonna show you. So this is the first sample of the, so this is the sun dropped models, and these are without that option. Pre-wash is the other term. Thank you, Nakana. So this is interesting. And it gives you some kind of a rugged look without doing anything. That's the first one. So this is the second one. So it seems that the details persist, and that the only change is with that kind of a wash effect. Would that work with our miniatures? I would say so. And this one as well. To me, it looks interesting, but can you do this at home? How easy is to do this? How time consuming? How much does it cost to do that? These are also questions that I did researched a little bit on my own, and it seems very trivial. But regardless, we'll see if we're gonna have some kind of an option. So that's for now. I see a possibility to have some kind of an add-on, the pre-wash option that you purchase, and then your miniatures would be with that pre-wash effect. This is very, very easy at home. Correct, Dibs. And I would personally prefer to give that responsibility to you. It will help me logistically, bureaucratically. So it's not about the money. It's about I wanted to say so. No, okay. So yeah, I would like that people do that at home, but that's my opinion. But if a lot of you push back, we might have a poll. And then if almost like a big majority of you are for this kind of option, then you will leave me no choice, and I will give you that option. Exactly, Richard. Some people don't want even an easy job, and that's totally fair, and I respect that. So they have that option, that kind of a wash effect. It takes time. They said that it would give them like 3 to 4 weeks longer production time, based of course on the number of the products not the miniatures but the units produced. But it's a viable thing, a viable option that we can ask about. If you offer a wash, I would suggest showing an example, as people might have expectations of something more than a wash. Yeah, that's true. We need to show exactly what they can expect. So yeah, so that's regarding the sun drop. Project page, we've been very busy, and I mean we had some kind of a retreat during Sunday. We returned back on Monday afternoon, so we only had Monday afternoon and Tuesday and a bit of a Wednesday, and we work on miniatures again. The thing is, I didn't know if we're gonna fund, it's not like the project is a pre-order. So yeah, we're gonna fund, I'm gonna get that. I didn't know. I put all into this. And because of that, my biggest priority was funding, not producing miniatures and not showing miniatures, but showing the game. The game is the main product. And that's why we might have lacked some kind of a presentation of miniatures before, and we used those few days to learn Blender and to work and do some kind of upgrades on presentation. And we've done that. And let me show you what we've done. First of all, a very important addition to the project page. There is languages there. I hope to see more languages, but for now, this is what we have. And then look at this beautiful shot. I mean, first, we composed a very straightforward render with just the models, like, soldiers in a line. But then Alexandra came to an idea. Let's create some kind of more like a story shot where the models are placed more in depth, and that we can show some kind of to infer a story with just by looking at the models. And of course we went to work, and this is what we created. So we want to show you how the miniatures could elevate the immersion and the experience of playing the game. So this is also something that we changed. And then we also added a miniatures section. Patrick Toner, he's the guy who printed those miniatures. He's the guy who painted those miniatures. So Patrick is the man. He's the awesome guy, and he made these two models come to life, literally come to life. So big thanks to him. And yeah, we wanted to show that, look, it's not just on a computer. These models work. Then we have our Envoy of Huster. So this is one rend that we also worked on. Another, giving you a very quick overview of the scale of the minis. We didn't want to go with the scale and everything. You need numbers, and that's what this asset works. It speaks for itself. And the last one are Bokrug, a very durable, detailed miniature that you can expect. Rift washed, void sworn. Updated project page is looking good. Thanks. If you ever wash. Yeah, cool. So we needed to add these models, these rends, and we think it's looking pretty good. But besides this section, and it looks like it's a painting behind of that, and look how it goes with the shadow, and whoa, shadow on the wall. Oh, I like it so much. I like Blender. I'm in love with it. And it's similar. I didn't even know how to edit the video before, but I'm in love in DaVinci. I love to, to learn stuff. And this is something that's very, very to be expected from working on a project like that, from working on a passion project like that. In the beginning, you're just a game designer, but then you need to know about the bureaucracy, the logistics, the production, and then even for the marketing, you need to work with the camera, with the video editing. Now 3D, these kinds of stuff is just, you grow as you learn, because the project demands quality, and you could outsource that, and this is a viable thing for a lot of aspects. One example is the project video that we have on the project page, the main project video. I can't do that. It's out of my league. I would need to spend maybe a couple of years to reach that potential, to be able to make everything as Marko Krešimir did before, but I don't have time, I don't have energy. So outsourcing, it's fine, it's totally fine. But for some things like this simple render, it's much easier to just learn on your own. I wanted also just to briefly mention, the cinematic gameplay. This took a lot of time. And in order to outsource that to a company that creates gameplay videos, it would be, I don't know, it wouldn't be impossible, but it would be so hard. To me, as a game designer, create like a almost 2-hour gameplay, but then explain to a gameplay video video team, how to create everything, how to say on the specific time, the cards, the transitions, everything. It would be so hard. So that's why I said, no, fuck it. I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to learn the stuff and do that. So that's why I really do like challenges and complexity, because by doing that, by by facing the unknown and then learning and then reaching across that obstacle and then get to that resolution, it's a really, really empowering feeling, and I like getting new skills, new knowledge. So what also did we change here? We did the changes to the assets. You see how the order of the bliss, and this is also, I don't want to say too much, but people who order this will have some kind of privileges, but they will come later. It's not, very something that's, I'm not going to get too much flack on that, but just I'm going to tell you that it's an order of the bliss. So it has its own connotation. And these backers are privileged to be in that order. So this is the asset for this one. And then for the miniatures bundle, can you see? Oh, this is looking so perfectly. And before, and I'm gonna shut up about miniatures, but I really want to give you just one context more about the miniatures and the models and the rends, because before we worked with modelers, and they do their models, and they also prepare some marketing renders, just one one shot from one angle, and that's it. And then it was very hard to Alexandra to combine all of those marketing renders into marketing assets, because they might be from different angles, and it's hard then to place them in space. But once we learn how to do that with Blender, everything changes. So thanks to that, we have much better looking products. The box itself is updated, and even those boxes, if you see down below, it's much easier to see the number, and the box is much thinner, as it should be. Where you can buy Machina Arcana, I don't think so that you can buy anywhere, and it's sold out. And well, you can buy from Gamefound page, but it will take some time until the shipping has been resolved. So this is for the miniatures and all of that stuff. Also updated the shipping table, finally added the veteran box. It's the same, practically the same as the core box. It might be a little bit more, but it's fine. It's fine. So you can think of it like a shipping of a core box. And I think that's it in terms of changing. Yeah, so that's it. So that's the updated project page. It feels much better. And this is also something that Alexandra changed to better have like that it's sitting on kind of a little mountain. So that's also fine. But this shot is like perfect. Chef's kiss. Okay, let's go to the next section. Product images, we've done all of that stuff. Oh yeah, so miniature supervisor. So this is something that I talked about before. I want somebody that can help me out with the communication. And communication between Alexandra and myself as a creative side, the factory and the modelers. Because I haven't produced miniatures in the past. I mean, I need to be honest about that. And I can do that. I mean, I can learn whatever I want, and I know that I'm going to do a good job, but it's going to be a lot of miniatures, a lot of communication. It might be that I foresee in the future some kind of a back and forth between the factory and modelers. So maybe the modelers create a model, but then once the factory gets the models, STL files, okay, they see, look, in order to create this model, we would need to split the model into 4 or 5 pieces, then glue them after production, or maybe this model goes beyond one edge. So it's very important to have somebody who knows what they're doing. And that somebody is a miniatures supervisor. So Mike has experience with this. He's also a modeler on our team. So that serves, he's going to serve a double role on that. But miniatures, it's a big part of the project, and it's a very delicate part. You know, with cardboard components, it's very straightforward. But miniatures, I want to have a perfect product from the beginning. And that means I need to make sure that all the streamlined process works from the beginning. The communication, the whole workflow needs to be top-notch. And because of that, I want to be focusing my work, my creative side on other stuff, other aspects. And why would I need to micromanage everything? It's much better that a person with experience does that. There might be even another miniature supervisor that will join the team. So that's how important and that's how serious I am about this process. So at least one miniature supervisor is currently, but there could be another one. So this is a big role. It's not something that you as backers will see. You know, it's something in behind. But this news, I would say, has much more weight and much more benefit than, you know, a new model, than a couple of new models, because this is what makes the project not just successful, but good in terms of how the processes work and how the work between all the different sides of the project communicate. And this will give me more time and more focus to work on other stuffs, other creative even ideas that I might share, but we'll see if we have time. Scour the second-hand market and Facebook sales group, eBay, but not easy. Better to back the campaign. Books. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned that the books are under normal VAT rules, and that was a mistake. Gamefound, I reached immediately to Gamefound. They apologized that they didn't catch that before, and they said that there's nothing to worry about. They will address this and fix this and apply the exact rates across the countries. And then they will give back in the late pledge, in the pledge manager. Overcharged tax will be available for the backers to use. So this will then be used for shipping or with purchasing of any additional add-ons. So a good call, good point. And Gamefound said and responded that they're gonna fix that after the campaign ends in the pledge manager. Future, new content, new ideas. Oh, so new content. Let's try to think about. So we have stickers. So this is the best content there is. So what can we do more? More stickers. What do you say? Or something else? I don't know. Stickers seems like a good idea. But do you have any ideas for the new content? Well, I do, and I know you do as well. And but I'm waiting for some assets in order to reveal. And I am so one of the most things that I anticipate and I can't wait to work on is the Vivarium scenarios. Why? Because they are very, very creative, and they are not just walls of text and illustrations. They can really tell a story, and not just tell a story, they produce a story that you play. And oh my God, I have already a lot of ideas, and I can't wait to work on them because it's really interesting. And I want to give you some kind of just a little feedback that I like horror, I like cosmic horror and psychological horror a lot, but I would like to put a little bit of SF into it as well this time with the Vivarium. And not to all scenarios, but some scenarios will be very SF related. Of course, still horror, still psychological horror, all of that stuff. But to give a lot of different context where the game plays. Before, it's always Machina Arcana, it's always an icy mountain. But now with Vivarium, I'm totally unconstrained to create whatever story my sick mind comes to. That's PG-18. So that's gonna be a very big part of my creative process in bringing different stories. And the stories I like episodic stories. Some kind of think of it like an X-Files kind of a system. You have an episode that it's contained within that episode. You don't have a Game of Thrones narrative. I really much prefer single shot scenarios. There might be some strands connected throughout those episodes, but very minor, very subtle. So I really like episodic horror scenarios that have branching. And you are not gonna expect a lot of branching because okay, you go to the left or to the right. Then once you choose the direction, do you go up or down? Then it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a couple of branches, but there's going to be persistent choices that you might have seen in the project page. And that means that in each chapter that you might do some action that can reverberate across all the other chapters. So not just branching, but persistent choices as well. So the combination with that, with how the chapter layout has been improved to be more like comic book oriented, much less text, but much more, much more immersion. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward just to jump on that. But in due time. Another thing that I want to give you is just a very short hook, and that is regarding the core scenarios. What I mean by that, so you know that we have core scenarios. Then there were a lot of suggestions how to make the game faster, how to make the game easier. Love episodic storytelling. Exactly, Billy. And Triskelion, this sounds very appealing to me. Of course, I know as a creative guy, as yourself, I can only imagine that. So where was I? Yes, the core scenarios and the need to make them a little bit shorter, a little bit easier. And that's why the first stretch goal was created, to have those kinds of guides, scenario guides. Before, it was a leaflet. You see the scenario, you can see the theme that the scenario is talking about, you can see the difficulty, and maybe even a recommended number of explorers. But then that leaflet was designed also to give you variants, how to make the scenario faster, easier. So that's where those scenario guides come from. The need to create a different variants so that people can have a much shorter session. Then there was first leaflets, but then I decided, okay, why leaflets? Maybe it's better just to put them as a section in the guidebook. So once you play, once you go through the guidebook, you see also all the scenarios, and once you chose one, you can learn all about it and to modify based on what you want to play and how you want to play. And how would you do that? Like, there are just a couple of ways that you can edit the scenarios. First of all, I don't like the option that you would have a guidebook open somewhere and then, like it says, once you're on chapter 2, disregard this ability but change with this one. It doesn't feel right to me. So the only way that you can do that, the easiest way is to remove some of the chapters. And then you have an easier and shorter game. Cool, just remove some chapters and it works. And but this means you will not go through all chapters. This means that you will skip maybe some of the story elements, and that also doesn't doesn't sit well with me. So if you see new ideas, on our small vacation on Sunday, I created some blueprints. I created some ideas that might actually be very, very interesting. It might change some things, but we'll see. I want to test that idea, and I want to present that idea to you, so that you, especially veterans, people who already played the game, who know the rule system, and that can know how those changes will affect them. By changes, I don't mean any rules. There's not going to be any rules. So the manual is the same as it is. You know, I'm not introducing any rules or any additional components besides the chapter cards. But I have some ideas that can easily solve the problem of variants without having some kind of a guidebook that shows, you know, the updated cards and how to learn. So to remember once you're on chapter 5, disregard this ability, or just remove chapter 5 once you set up this scenario. So give me some time in order to work on that. I will present you, I will hear your feedback then, and we'll go from there. So this is I would say everything that I planned to talk about. Is this the end of the line? Yes, it is. Hi everybody, thanks Yuri to bring this amazing project to life. I love all of what you're producing. And Abel, I love you totally, especially how creative you are. And thank you for the effort, for the documents that you created. I remember, of course, and love you back. So what else to say? What else to do? I already took a lot of your time, and yeah, I just want to say once more, thank you to everybody, because this is really something like a dream come true, and it gives me a fuel, because I have so much passion and so many ideas. It's just that I'm a little bit low on time in order to produce all of that. But the ideas are there, the products are there. Now it's just a way to pull everything together, create a beautiful big box, and ship it to you. So thank you once more for everything that you do, for your engagement. Kyun, I mean, that awesome guy who is so active in the comment section and helps me a lot. I love you, guy. Thank you very much. And to all of you, whatever kind of suggestions, feedback, criticism, flame, whatever you have, I'll take it, and I will gladly take it. So once more, it's been a pleasure. All the best, and talk soon.